Scorpio, are things going to continue in this contented way for you? Or is there more problems ahead? I think looking at this spread, there is more change, but with it comes more issues for you to confront. The overall energy is that of you sort of finding your feet, finding a direction, and having a degree of pace about it. So that's normally seen as a good thing. I've recently been seeing it as a bad thing because we live in such change that having firm ideas isn't a good thing. But this month, maybe I am seeing it in a better light. You go to the bottom right there and we have the Devil card. That undoubtedly is the whatever was behind the karmic judgement that you faced. And you have faced up to it. But I believe that whatever it is, you've not fully faced the consequences. Your current energy is that of the Wheel of Fortune, so all change yet again, which is a good thing, should bring with it luck. But in the future, it's telling me that no, you haven't fully moved on. You haven't fully embraced, you're not able to fully embrace this new paradigm. You still have baggage you need to get rid of, and I think that's the baggage of the devil energy that you need to release. Currently you're struggling a little, struggling to do everything that you need to do, and that leads to the outcome. Yes, of course. If you're still holding on to the past and yet trying to embrace the future, then you will struggle. What would change everything is you seeking not solely information, but almost a course of action, seeking a way of doing things. And I think that would make it much easier for you. In fact, maybe my words, I think, are very telling, because maybe you're thinking too much, and what you need to be doing is finding a course of action, being led by the heart. Because the outcome is justice, could even be a legal justice. But I do think this is connected to the karmic judgment of the past. The overall energy and the energy that runs throughout all the other energies is that of the Eight of Wands. It's a card of alignment. It's a card of having your ducks in a row. I keep coming out with alignment of aims and objectives, and that doesn't adequately cover it. In fact, I don't like it. I also come out with strategy and tactics, and again, I don't like that. But you are aligned in your thoughts and actions, and there's a sense of pace about it. And now I've been a little bit sceptical of this recently because we live in a time of such change, and that I've been worried that this is the wrong direction. And I mean, it could be in your case. But I've sort of this month backpedaled on that, not least because some people need this sense of direction. Now, if you recall, a little while ago you were faced with karmic judgment, and I'm sure that's what this devil energy is referring to. But the fact that it's showing up in September suggests to me that these things are not fully resolved. And maybe it's simply that things are still playing on your mind about what happened. But I think what it is that you've not fully moved on. Maybe you've not truly admitted your role in things and truly repented. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm overplaying that. But this darkness is still here, and it does rear itself again. I don't want to overemphasize that. I don't want to make it sound terrible, but it's something that you do need to address. I've said these are times of major change, and here we are. Your current energy is that of the Wheel of Fortune, so major change yet again. Major changes in your life. This involves you having learnt the lessons of the past paradigm before you can move on to the new paradigm. And that's where I don't think you've fully learnt the lessons. You nearly have, I think, very nearly, but you're being prevented somewhat from moving on until you do something, which is the next energy I'm going to talk about anyway. This Wheel of Fortune should bring with it good luck. So I don't want to make this reading sound gloomy or a bad reading. It's really saying to me that you're so nearly there, a little bit more effort, and you will get there, and you will reap the benefits. And what is it that this small thing you've got to do? Well, maybe it's not small in as much as it's difficult. I do understand. It's to move on from your past and to dump the baggage. You can't move into the new paradigm until you've done it. And, you might even go through something like a dark night of the soul in order to do it. Only today, I was reminded of a figure from a past. I mean, my entire life seems to have been shaped by narcissists. I'm only recently beginning to understand that, but there was a famous narcissist. One might even call him a psychopath. He invented the title professor for himself. Well, I think that says everything. But what I found out was that he lives in the very part of Bali where I go on holiday. And you may know that I had a heart attack recently, and my guru at least feels it was to do with a Hindu king entering me. And I wondered if that narcissist had anything to do with it. So, I've meditated, and the answer has come back no. But I know how difficult it is to move on. I know how difficult it is. Now, I think your past is shaping your current, maybe even shaping your future, because I think you're trying to move on whilst at the same time trying to keep a hold of the past, keep a hold of things from the past. And the truth is, you're struggling a little. You're struggling a little to do it all because of how can you move on if you've still got one foot in the past? And it's this very energy that leads to the outcome, which could be a good outcome, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's necessarily a bad outcome either. Let me put it that way. But this struggle is leading to, let's put it as difficulties for now. And so often in this month of September, the way to change your trajectory is to throw yourself into something else, to forget about your current thoughts, and to become preoccupied with other things. And you're being asked to go out and seek what actions you should be taking. This isn't simply information. This is practical information. So what is it you should be doing right now? And maybe, it's not the solution that comes of this. Maybe it's the mere fact that you're taking your mind off the past that is so important. So what is this outcome that comes out of you struggling to deal with the past and the current? Well, it is justice. I've a feeling it's justice against you. It might not be, it could be justice in your favour. But given that the future is about you dumping baggage, I suspect it isn't in your favour. It could be physical justice, so it could be actually the justice system intervening in something. So this is why I say that whatever it was from that karmic judgment, I don't think you fully resolved it. I don't think that you fully got rid of or you fully repented, I suppose is how I'd put it. I'm not overly concerned about it. I don't think things are that strong. Whatever it might be, it might go against you, but it might be something trivial, I don't get a terrible feeling from it. Just a feeling that there are loose ends here that need resolving. So Scorpio, I think we can summarise for you. Scorpio, September, I think, is all about unresolved issues. Unresolved issues from that karmic judgment. And now, I don't want to go too strongly on them. I don't think that the repercussions are that serious. It's just a warning from the universe that you need to address them. And you need to address them before you can move on to the new paradigm. You need to learn the lessons of the last paradigm, because there is further change here, and that should bring with it luck. But we have a devil card, or devil energy here, which I think is something unresolved from this karmic judgment. The other thing I'd say is that overall, the energy is of you finding alignment, finding a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, and a sense of pace. And I think this is legitimate. You are finding this. This is what it's all about this month. Because you're holding on to the past within the current, and maybe even taking it forward to the future, you're not being able to move on. And indeed, you're struggling a bit to do everything. You're struggling to hold on to the past and at the same time deal with the current. And that does end up, I think, causing justice. Now, this could be some sort of physical justice. I'm pretty certain it's against you, but I don't get the impression it's anything too traumatic. I think it's something fairly trivial, but it's a reminder to you of what you've got to do. And what you've got to do is jettison the past, jettison the baggage, and move on to this new paradigm. So it's very simple what you have to do. It's one of those situations that's easier said than done. And I'm pretty certain the universe is saying to you, well, look, take your mind off it. Think of other things. Why don't you, and I think it's not a cerebral exercise, it's as much your heart, but why don't you go and look for sort of actionable things to do? And I don't think it's that the actionable things to do have any great validity in themselves. It's the fact that you're taking your mind off the past through looking at these things, maybe looking at the future, that it does take your mind off it and you're able to move on.